How's it going, everyone? So I just received the brand new BenQ AH700ST projector. BenQ actually sent me one to test out. As you know, if you've been following the channel, I've been using the 4K BenQ LK936ST projector, which is kind of said to be, you know, the best indoor golf simulator projector. It is a bit high for some people, and if you're not looking to go 4K, this is a really good option. I'm glad they sent this out, so thank you guys, BenQ, for sending this to me. But you may be asking yourself, another projector, like what's the big deal? What's so important about this specific projector? This one's actually focused at golf simulators. So the way that they've designed this, they've actually taken polls, kind of figured out what people are looking for. One of the biggest things is ease of setup. If you watch my other video explaining how to put this indoor golf simulator in your home, you'll know that one of the hardest parts is kind of factoring in where to put your projector and going in through and tweaking all the graphics card settings. Well, with this new projector, it actually has autofocus and an auto setup guide to make it extremely easy for you to install. And also for those of you users who are using this in a garage setting, they actually have a sealed laser engine inside of this. So it actually works out in garages. You don't have to worry about dust getting into the components, and it works with temperatures above 90 degrees. In addition to all these great features, it also utilizes BenQ's golf mode, which just again makes it so much easier to not have to mess with your video settings. They've used their technology to make sure that the simulated golf on your screen looks as best as it possibly can, doing different color corrections and color enhancements automatically so you don't have to mess with it. It is also mobile Wi-Fi ready, meaning you can add a dongle to it and seamlessly hook your iPad or your iPhone up to it to play some supported golf simulator softwares without having to run a cable up to it from a PC. The main focus is just that ease of setup, getting it in the right spot and being able to make all the adjustments automatically without having to go up and down ladders once you get it into place. Now, this unit is available for pre-order. I'll put a link to it down below as to where you can get this on pre-order. It will be released very soon, so go ahead and check that out. And as always, links to everything I use in my golf simulator setup will be listed in the descriptions down below as well. So without further ado, let's get this thing set up. Okay, the first thing we want to do is determine where to put the projector. BenQ's made this extremely simple as they now have a golf sim planner tool. If you watch my video setting up the LK936ST projector, I go into more detail of this, but basically I'll put a link to this down below. And what you want to do is select the AH700ST from the drop down on the right, and then it'll pop up some specs and a picture of the projector so you know you have the right one. You can see the throw ratio is between 0.69 and 0.83, and as well as the brightness and the resolution. So we're just going to X out of that. You can now put in things like your height and your room dimensions and all that good stuff. This will just help you visualize it better. Again, I go into more detail in my other video. But the main thing we want to do now is we want to select the height of our screen because that is the most important. So the height of my screen is 84 inches tall, and you can see it showing a displayed image of it on the wall here. You could even do things like adjust your position from where you're going to be hitting from your screen. I have it switched to inches on mine, but I hit from about 9 feet. And this will help determine if the projector is going to clear and not be in your way to where it casts a shadow. You then want to go to the advanced settings drop down here, and I just put as a default that I have 10-foot ceilings. I have vaulted, but this is just for reference. But you can see you can slide this bar down, so it'd be like you're adjusting your projector mount to see how far down you need to mount your projector. And then the value you want here is basically this measurement, so how far away from the front of your screen to the front of the projector lens. So I can see 103.2 inches, which gives me a rough measurement as to where I can put this. Because this does have an optional zoom feature, I know I probably want to be at least 103 inches from the wall here. So I'm going to put it in my existing location since the throw ratio is very similar to my LK936 and mount it in the same spot by dismounting my current projector. So once you have all your measurements, and go ahead and feel free to check this tool out, it is extremely helpful. This will just help visualize everything and put it in perspective for you. But now that I have a good idea of where to mount it, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm just going to attach the projector mounting plate to the 3 holes on the bottom of the AH700ST. This is pretty straightforward. Again, you can watch my other video to go into more detail for this, but you just want to make sure you get the center of the mount lined up with the center of gravity mark on the bottom of the projector. I'll put a link to this mount in the descriptions down below. I've been using this one for years now and I really like the design of it. It's just a simple 2-axis, so it's really easy to adjust and it doesn't drift. I'm also going to be mounting my Apple TV to the projector before I mount it. It just makes it easier than doing it when it's already hung. So just going to use some 2-sided sticky tape to mount it to the top of the projector and then plug it into one of the HDMI slots. I highly recommend doing this as it turns your projector into a smart projector, basically giving you access to all the apps you need. Now the projector's ready to mount, I'm going to go ahead and just hook it into place, and then you can just use your wrench and get everything tightened down snug, and then you just want to eyeball it, make sure it's nice and level, and then go ahead and plug in your power cord and your HDMI cable that runs to your computer if you decided to do that. And I also have to plug in my Apple TV since I added that as well, but just get all the wires tucked in, get everything nice and neat, and you're done up top, and everything else can be done from down below. All right, so I got my projector mounted within the tolerance on the BenQ Golf Sim Planner tool. So I know it's in the right spot. So now I'm gonna do a first power on. One thing I realized is I forgot to adjust when it's on the ground level, you know, to flip it so it knows it's on the ceiling. That way everything isn't upside down. So once we turn it on, I'm sure we'll have to go in the settings and flip that. I'm just gonna power it on. And I do have it lower lighting in here because I think for the auto calibration thing, it can't be too bright so the light's not affecting how it calibrates. And it actually looks like it went into the right orientation anyway, so I don't know if this has like some built-in sensor so it knows where it's at, but that is really cool to see. All the other projectors I've ever installed, you know, I have to remember to flip them on the ground, otherwise I have to kind of look upside down and get everything in the right orientation. So the first screen it actually popped up with is, it looks like the auto calibration feature. It's just telling us here on the left that you want these 3 circle areas to be within the screen, not like it is on the right. So let's just hit OK. And they all fit within inside the screen, so I know it's in the right spot. Obviously, if those were outside of the screen or kind of wonky, your projector's probably angled one way or another, or it's too close or perhaps too far. So it looks like with the Sim Planner tool, it got us in the right spot. So I'm just gonna hit OK to start. Oh, and now I can actually hear the projector adjusting. I can hear the zoom feature, and is that it? That looks like that just got it to the right size, like right off the bat. It looks pretty perfect. The only thing, oh, this turf is sitting a little weird over here. So it looks like because the turf was raised in that right corner, it kind of cropped it out a little bit. Not a big problem. I can actually adjust that with the 4-corner adjustment fit after this that it also has built into it. And the other thing I noticed is it's actually extremely in focus. On my LK936ST, there's actually an external zoom and focus knob that you have to adjust. So this just did all the zoom and the focus for us automatically. So that's really cool to see. That way you're not looking at a blurry screen trying to figure out where to go next. So I'm gonna hit menu because we already did the calibration. Actually, let me hit OK to start and see what this does. Oh, it's actually just going through the calibration again. So you don't have to hit OK to start it if it already adjusted it. So let's see if it just does it again. Again, it's really cool just seeing it do all that. And because I fixed the turf, it actually fixed that bottom right corner. So I'm guessing what's happening is it's seeing white and black, and that's how it knows how to format the image. My screen it's a 4:3 aspect ratio, but it's not a true 4:3. I built it to fit this nook how I wanted it to, so it's a little bit wider than 4:3, but to see that it went and adjusted that with no problem, it's really cool to see. I'm not gonna hit start again because it's just gonna rerun the calibration and it looks perfect now. Like everything fits exactly how it should. So I'm gonna hit menu, it says to skip. And now it's asking me the projector position, which it already guessed or knew where it was supposed to be, which is front ceiling. So I'm just gonna hit OK through that. Just pick my language preference. 1 key auto full screen adjust. It already did that, so that's done. Just hit OK through that. And now it's just a welcome screen. So it's just kind of showing you what some of these buttons here do on the remote. One of the cool things that I like about this remote is it actually has a designated golf button. So it has like a golf ball sitting on top of a tee. And again, it says golf simulator projector on the projector. So it's cool to see that they're kind of catering to golf simulators. And it's really golf focused with that. So there's auto screen fit, which we're already done with, but if you needed to recalibrate it for whatever reason, maybe your projector gets out of whack or bumped, just hit that button again. And then we have a focus button, but everything looks perfectly in focus. So again, with those little cameras on the front of the unit, it seems like it it did all the hard work for us and it literally took seconds. So I'm just gonna hit OK since that's all done. And now it's searching for a signal. We did hook up the Apple TV, or I hooked up the Apple TV. It actually already auto launched, so I have my Apple TV set up to detect a signal and turn itself on. Yeah, everything works. So you have YouTube, you can watch movies on here, do all that good stuff. And again, it fits the image perfectly and I'm basically ready to go. So all I have to do now is launch my PC that's already hooked up to it as well. And then we can check the golf simulator footage and take a look at that and see how that all looks. Okay, so I just got my PC turned on and I went ahead and launched GS Pro to test it out. One thing I noticed when switching is now that I have some text on the screen with Apple TV, there wasn't a lot of text. I can see it is a little bit blurry. So what I'm gonna do is hit that autofocus button and see how well that works. Or it actually already did it. So this thing doesn't waste any time. Like, I thought I had to go and adjust the focus. Let me try to manually take it out of focus so you can adjust it with the arrow keys. So I'm gonna go left and I can hear it up above me making noises. So yeah, so now I'm way out of focus there. Let's hit the autofocus button again. I can hear it doing its thing. And there you go, it goes right into perfect focus, literally in seconds. So again, the whole point of this ACE series that they're doing with these projectors is just making them easier to set up. You can see it is in 1080p because this is a 1080p projector with 4000 lumens, so it's plenty bright in here, and I do have more light in now. I can get it even darker than this if I'm playing, but it's during the day and I have a lot of light pouring in here and it's still plenty bright. I definitely can notice a difference between 4K and 1080p, but for some people that may not be a big deal. You know, I've kind of already had the LK936ST, so the 4K projector image is absolutely stunning. As far as the setup, it's not this easy to set up. It's not too difficult, but this just makes it really easy if you're trying to just get up and running, and the projector process is always the hardest part in setting up a golf simulator. So the other good thing about 1080p is you can get by with just using like a standard laptop. You don't have to get too crazy on your PC build specs. If you've been following the channel, you'll know I built a custom 4K gaming PC. Check the channel out if you want to see how I built that. But what I'll do now is I'll just jump over to one of the courses in practice mode and kind of just take a look and see how those 1080p graphics look. But again, plenty bright. So I just launched GS Pro and I jumped over on practice mode to hole 12 at the Georgia Golf Club, which I am very familiar with this hole. I'm sure you are as well. You've seen it on TV plenty of times. And I thought I would use this hole because I've played it a lot recently and I can put a good comparison against the LK936ST. So my initial thoughts are the image is plenty bright. It looks good. Is it 4K good? Is it as good as the LK936ST? In my opinion, no. But again, the price difference, like you're not gonna get that 4K high def image quality that you get from the LK936ST. But for the price of this projector, the ease of setup and the light output, I would highly recommend it if this is in your budget. I'll put links to both of the projectors down below in the description. But my initial thoughts are, it is bright. I already do miss the crisp 4K graphics of the trees, and I am running this in ultra at 1080p settings, so you know that way I'm keeping it in its native resolution. But it looks decent enough. So this is a 150-yard hole. I'm gonna hit a shot just so we can kind of see how everything looks. You know, after you hit a ball. I have not warmed up, but that's okay. We just want to hit a shot and see how the projector looks. So actually, I'm also being lazy today. My clubs are in my car, but luckily for me, my 14-year-old daughter was in here practicing and left her clubs behind for me. So I'm just gonna grab her 7-iron. Cover the bunker. So as far as my final thoughts on the AH700ST, would I recommend it? Absolutely, I would highly recommend it. If this is within your budget, this is really easy to set up. Again, has very high lumen outputs, has a bunch of cool settings, USB-C port, the ability to add a Wi-Fi dongle and hook up an iPad or an iPhone without having to connect a wire is a really cool feature. The autofocus is awesome. The remote is really cool. It has a backlit display, has a really sleek look, looks really similar to the LK936ST. And the fact that it has a golf button on it is really awesome. Really love seeing that. Just again, keeping that golf simulator focus. Now, would I swap out my LK936ST projector, which in my opinion is the best indoor golf simulator projector for this? Absolutely not. I love that projector. The image is just absolutely amazing. It looks great for movies and everything, but that's not to say that this one can't, you know, hold its place in the right setup. So if you are working with a budget, or if you have a garage built, having that sealed laser engine inside of it so you don't have to worry about dust, and also being able to exceed temperatures of 90 degrees, perfect option at the price point, really hard to beat. So I would recommend it based on your budget. If you're looking to build an indoor golf simulator for yourself, again, reach out to us at pixelgolfco.com. I'm just doing this more to help you guys out, and I really appreciate you watching. If you can please show your love by liking and subscribing, it would be much appreciated, and we'll see you guys on the next video.